everybody, I'm Miss Sally, and thanks for joining us today on Kids Corner for Armstrong Cable, channels 20 and 100. Today we're at Poland Union Elementary School with the first graders, and we've got a lot of fun in store. It's a little wintry out there, as you can tell. I'm not really dressed for spring, but it's all about springtime, zinnias flowers, and our own, very own zinnias flower garden. Hey everybody. Hi. How you guys doing today? Are you sure?
Yes.
You look pretty good. So I'm glad to be here today hanging out with you guys at Poland Union Elementary School. You guys are the first grade class, aren't you?
Yeah.
You guys are big kids. Oh my goodness. So it's getting kind of cold outside in our parts of the woods, isn't it? Yeah. It was snowy today, wasn't it? And I even had to pull out my scarf and put on some boots today because it's kind of sloshy and snowy and cold, right?
Yeah.
During the winter, do flowers grow very well?
No.
No. What season? Does anyone know what season flowers usually grow really well in? You right here with the blue shirt.
Spring.
Spring. Who agrees? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome sauce. You guys are right. And a lot of times we will plant things in the spring and they'll start to blossom in the spring. And what other season do they come up in usually?
Summer.
Summer. That's correct.
Come up in May, because April Fool's May flowers.
Well, that is a good little rhyme. Okay, hold on, guys. So, you're right. There's a little saying that says, April showers bring May flowers. But if you've ever planted flowers before and you've watched what happens in the seasons, as the summer goes on, your flowers kind of stay around and they rebloom, don't they? So we can plant during the spring and see flowers all summer long most of the time. Then what happens during the fall towards the winter? You back there with the red Cleveland sweatshirt.
They usually start to fall over and get all brownish.
Yeah, they start to wilt away and get all dried up. And then we have to wait all winter long for it to turn back into spring and then start the whole thing over again, right? Has anyone ever planted a garden? Just raise your hand silently. Me too. So we're going to talk a little bit today about planting gardens and beautiful flowers. And even though it's kind of snowy outside and there's probably not very many flowers left hanging around right now, we can always look at pictures of flowers and we can look at books that have flowers in them, can't we? And then we can think about what kind of flowers we want to plant next year, can't we? All right, cool beans. So this book is called Zinnia's Flower Garden, and it's by Monica Wellington. And when we're done, we're gonna have a very interestingly cool flower garden art project. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so if you look closely here, we've got green grass. So is it winter time?
No.
No. She's not even dressed for winter, is she? She's dressed more kind of for springtime. And she's got a little wheelbarrow and some little friends hanging out with her, a little cat and a little dog.
And mouse.
Oh. I don't see the mouse. Oh, you're right. There is a little mouse. It's kind of hard to see him.
I like the cat dinner.
Okay. Spring has arrived. Zinnia is getting her garden ready for planting. She digs up the soil and turns it over with her shovel. She takes out stones and rakes the dirt. The warm sun feels good as she works. Does anybody know why she takes the rocks out of the dirt that she's digging up? You right here with the gray shirt. Yep.
For to put the flowers in
Yep.
for not to smush the vine.
That's right. If we have rocks in our dirt, sometimes it'll get in the way of the way the flowers want to grow, and it'll cause them to not grow so well. So we take all the little rocks out that might get in the way, and the big rocks, and we make sure that the soil is ready to plant before we plant the seeds, right? Okay. Xenia carefully plants many kinds of flowers and seeds in rows. She covers the seeds with dirt and pats it down very gently. She sprinkles the ground with water. Can anyone tell me why she sprinkles the ground with water? Can someone, if you've had a turn and I've called on you, can you put your hand down so I can give my other friends a chance? You right here with the purpley shirt.
So they can grow.
So they can grow, because plants need water to grow. What else do plants need to grow? You way in the back with the orange shirt.
Sunlight.
Sunlight and water. That's food for the plants, isn't it?
Yeah.
She covers the seeds with dirt and pats it all down very gently, sprinkles the ground with water. And Xenia waits for the seeds to sprout. And we've got lots of different clouds, and this book tells you about the different types of clouds. Did you guys know that there are different types of clouds? Yeah. They're not all the same. They're called different things. So when they're like that and they're kind of stringy and flowy like that, those are called stratus clouds. And when they're big and puffy like that, those are cumulus clouds. And when they are kind of far apart, those are cirrus clouds. And then when they're getting dark and they're big and puffy and they're ready to rain because they're full of water, those are called nimbus clouds. We've got some nimbus clouds here because it is what? Raining. Every day, Xenia checks her garden to see if anything has happened. Look, the first seedling is poking its way up through the dirt. So it's like a baby plant. Now Xenia's garden is full of green sprouts growing toward the sun. Little stems grow taller, little leaves get bigger, little roots burrow deeper into the earth. Can anyone tell me what burrow means? What does it mean when something burrows? If you've had a turn, put your hand down. And if you've talked out and you've had a turn or took a turn, put your hand down, sweetie. Okay, you right there with the gray and the black shirt underneath.
She grows plants when it means it's digging.
That's right. And the reason why they do that is so that they can stay nice and sturdy as they get bigger. If you had tiny feet like a baby, do you think you could walk very good being the big kids that you are? No, you tip over all the time, right? So that's the same way a plant needs bigger roots to burrow down deep so it can plant itself steady. And guess what? That's probably why we call it plant, because it plants itself into the ground so that it doesn't fly away. All right. And here she's got sunflowers and zinnias. Hey, isn't that her name? So she's got the name of a flower, and that's what the flower looks like that her name is. And we see cosmos and asters. So she's got lots of different flowers. And then she wrote a little log here, a little journal that says, May 29th, lots of sprouts now. I can't even count them all. So she's keeping track of what's happening. Xenia takes care of her garden every day. When the sun is hot and the soil is dry, she waters her thirsty plants. And plants get thirsty, don't they? Would they continue to live if we didn't water them when there's no rain outside and it's dry for a long time? No, huh?
Plants and humans both need water.
That's very true. Could we go very long without water? No, we need water, don't we? Yes?
And people and plants need food.
That's true also. We need water and we need food just like plants. Yes.
And dogs and cats.
And all animals. I was going to say that. Okay, so she is watering her plants, and her journal says July 7th. My sunflower plants are so tall. And then on the side she writes, I hate weeds. Looks like the mouse is writing that. Are weeds part of the flower plants that she's growing? No. So she's probably going to pull those, because do you know what would happen if she left the weeds? You right here with the dog shirt. Yep.
They won't grow.
They won't grow. The weeds will start to choke out all of the water and all of the room that the other plants that she planted need to grow. Yes.
The weeds, they eat the food that she gives the flowers.
Yep. So the weeds would take over. All right, let's move on. She pulls up pesky weeds that try to crowd out her plants. She inspects them for greedy bugs. Has anyone ever seen a plant that got eaten up by bugs? I tried to plant some broccoli one time, and the caterpillars apparently really liked broccoli because they ate it all up. There were holes throughout all the leaves, and it didn't grow very well. So you got to try and keep your garden bug-free. So she measures how tall her strong and healthy plants are growing. Every day they get bigger and bigger. First thing in the morning, Xenia runs out to check her garden. She is excited to see the little buds growing on many of her plants. What's a bud? Yes.
A bud is that grows on a flower that is going to turn into a like a type of flower.
It is the beginning parts of whatever you're growing, a little beginning baby part of the flower. If I've given you a chance, put your hands down, and we're going to continue to move on because we got to get to our art project. All right. Down here, I was just talking about caterpillars. And right here in this book, if you ever get a chance and you're at the library, you can pull this book out and look at, it shows you down here the life cycle of a caterpillar to turn into a butterfly. And I actually grew butterflies from this stage into these. Well, I didn't grow them per se. I think they were helped by the one who created the butterflies. But I actually kept them safe while they grew and turned into them. And then we set them free once they came out of their cocoons. It was very cool. And I'm going to try to give Mr. Greg, our cameraman who takes things back and puts them together, a picture of some of our butterflies that came out once we grew them. So our butterflies actually looked kind of like these. The ones we grew, helped grow, keep safe and take care of. We're called painted ladies. All right, July 25th, my first flower today, and lots more to come. Amazing! A big monarch butterfly landed on my finger. And then at last, she finds what she has been waiting for, the first flower. One bud has bloomed. How beautiful, and what a sweet smell. There are many more buds that will soon open. And this right here tells you all the parts of a flower. So if you ever get a chance to look this book up, you can look at all the different parts of the flower, and it'll tell you what part is what. And then you can go outside during the spring and match them up. And look, she's got a zinnia. Isn't that pretty? The garden grows and grows with blossoming flowers. Xenia paints, reads, and picnics among them. Butterflies flutter, bees buzz. Xenia's garden is her favorite place to be on these warm summer days. And her journal says, August, I love my garden. And look at all the beautiful flowers she's got. Her flowers are abundant, and Xenia cuts some to arrange into bouquets. The fragrant scents of the flowers swirl around her in the warm breeze. And her journal down here says August 21st. My sunflowers are taller than I am. Wow.
Yeah, they can get real tall.
And these are the different names of the different flowers she planted. She's got cosmos, that's what they turned into. She's got marigolds.
I love those.
She's got sunflowers. She's got snapdragons, those are cool. And she's got zinnias like her name. And she's got black-eyed Susans, sweet peas, and sweet William, and aster. She's got lots of beautiful flowers. One hot summer day, Xenia's lemonade stand, she puts a lemonade stand up and she puts up a sign, pick your own flowers. Customers can come and gather bunches of flowers and drop money in her jar. So she's selling her flowers. And it says August 28th in her journal. Busy today at my stand. Everyone loves my flowers. And she's got another sign that says, don't forget to smell the flowers. And we see she's got money and she's got nickels and dollars and dimes. And her sign over here says, pick your own flowers. In the autumn, as it gets colder, Xenia picks the last flowers from her garden. She finds ripe seeds that have formed. They are ready to be collected. She will save them to plant next year. Oh, that's kind of cool. Because the seeds don't come from the store, they come from plants before. Hey, that rhymes. The seeds don't come from the store, they come from the plants before. Can you guys say that? The seeds don't come from the store, they come from the plants before. All right. And her journal says, August 13th, lots of seeds. I'll leave some of them for the birds. Did you guys know birds eat seeds? Yeah. Yep. The winter days are short, the sun is dim, and the ground is covered with snow. But Xenia is already planting next year's garden. When spring comes, she will be ready to grow her very own flowers again. And she's got something in her journal that says December 27th. I can't wait until spring. And that's the end of the story. And right here it says growing sunflowers. Monica Wellington, who is the author of our book, grows sunflowers. You can grow sunflowers just like she does. And it has a good word here. It's a sight word to know, she. And it says just follow these simple steps. That's all you need to do. And it says you will need sunflower seeds soaked in water overnight, a cup with small holes cut in the bottom, moist potting soil. And then you fill each cup up with moist soil, poke 3 holes in the soil in each cup, put a seed in each hole. Sprinkle a little more soil on top, put the cup in a sunny place, and keep the soil moist but not too wet. 5 to 10 days later, look at your cups. Do you see leaves popping up?
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks later, remember to water your plants. They will grow big and strong into a sunflower. Did you guys like that story? Yeah. Cool beans. Are you guys ready for our very cool Xenia's Flower Garden? All of you guys have a piece of paper in front of you. Turn it sideways so that it's like this. Turn it from this way to this way. And then lay it back down on your desk, please, or on your table. I want you to take your pool noodle, for those of you at home, I took some pool noodles and I cut them up into small chunks. Some chunks don't even need to be this big. As long as they're about this big, you should be able to still get what you need out of it. So I took some pool noodles and I cut them up into chunks. And what you're gonna do is you are going to leave the green paint alone for now. Don't touch the green paint. So turn your paint paper plate away from you with the green. So my green is towards me. I'm going to turn the green away and put it over on the other side. Everyone, take your pool noodle and pick one of your colors other than green. So you have some white paint and 2 colors paint. Pick one of the colors, not the white. Pick one of the colors. I'm going to pick purple first, and I'm going to make sure that the whole bottom of my pool noodle is covered in paint. And then at the top of my paper, I am going to stamp my pool noodle onto my paper and then lift it straight up. So put another one somewhere else. I'm going to put mine on the absolute opposite side. Now you can dip it into the other color. My other color was yellow, and I am going to do the same thing but in a different spot. So now I'm going to have another one that's next to my purple flowers, and that one's yellow, and it's a little bit into the purple, and there's some purple left over, but that's okay because some flowers have more than one color in them, don't they? You are going to take your finger and you are going to stick a finger in paint. And you're going to come to the bottom of your bottom flowers and you're just going to make a stem just like that. And then go to the bottom of the next flower and make another stem. Everybody, thanks for joining us again for Kids Corner on Armstrong Cable Channels 20 and 100. We've been having a lot of gardening fun with Zinnia's flowers and our very own Zinnia Flower Garden. So until next time, don't forget to tune in Armstrong Cable, Kids Corner, channels 20 and 100. Until then, we say goodbye.